Welcome back, students. Hope the previous sections you have understood clearly. In this section, we'll be talking about the virtualization, the concept of virtualization. In today's information technology, in today's corporate, the virtualization, this is a very, very important concept to understand. Now, when we talk about the virtualization, as I said you before also, that in any enterprise information system or IT related jargons, if new jargons you are coming across, you just try to understand that what could be the uh, dictionary meaning of that particular word. The moment you come to know what is the dictionary meaning of that, it will be very much easy and you can apply the same logic to understand about this new concept. Now, if I ask you what is the virtualization, you will say something which is virtual, right? So something which is not there, but we are experiencing, yes, it is there, right? So you know that there is a holographic idea, holographic, images can be replicated and so on and so forth. Virtualization. Now, if I say that students, say that in front of me some student is standing, virtualization, right? So practically they are not there, but we are assuming experiencing that particular thing, right? So that is nothing but the virtualization. So now this virtualization may be any types of virtualizations, but before that, we are talking in enterprise system or in IT. The virtualization, we will talk about the resources, right, or the devices. Now here the virtualization means is nothing to create a virtual version of a device or resource, such as you may think that server, storage device, network, or even an operating system, where the framework device is the resource into one or more execution environment. There are different types of virtualization, right? So it may be hardware virtualization, it may be network virtualization, it may be storage virtualization, it may be even application virtualization. Now, understanding this virtualization concept is very, very important, because in today's era, the hardware cost or the resource cost or the device cost, operational expenditure, we say it, or the capital expenditure to buy any particular hardware, server, any software and implement that, okay, or keeping that in enterprise premises, it has become very, very costly, okay. And each and every time across the globe, all the enterprises, they are trying to save the money. So in that sense, the virtualization, this concept is very, very important. I'll give you a simple example, okay. Let's take an example that we are talking about the storage virtualization. Now, what is the storage virtualization? You must be using some computer or the laptop right now to see this lecture, right? So in that particular laptop, you have a certain hard disk, and hard disk size, it may be the 100 GB, 200 GB, 1 terabyte, and so on and so forth, right? So that has a limitation. You cannot extend that physically without ideally, right? So let's say I'm having 150 GB hard disk. I can use 150 GB hard disk only, or the space only, right, to save the data and so on and so forth, or run the application and so on and so forth, right? That is the concept. But if using certain method or installing some certain software, if I can increase that 150 GB physical hard disk storage to, let's say, I'm giving an example, let's say double, let's say 300 GB, then ideally what is happening, I am experiencing the increased volume, increased space in the storage, right, instead of 150 GB, I am going to use 300 GB. But ideally it is not there. I have not paid any amount of money, to buy additional 150 GB hard disk and I am attaching here. No. So ideally what is happening, the same 150 GB hard disk, I am getting the space of 300 GB with the help of this virtualization concept, and that is exactly the storage virtualization. Now, if I say that, have you used Google? You will say yes, definitely we have used Google. Have you used Gmail? You will say you must be using Gmail, right? So if you see the Gmail, free Gmail gives you 15 GB space, right? If you open your Gmail account, you will see, click on that Google Drive icon out there, right hand side, and you will see the space is mentioned 15 GB free space, and more than that you need to buy it. But ideally, the moment you are activating your account in Gmail, it is showing 15 GB, but ideally you are not allocated 15 GB. It may be much lesser than that, let's say 5 GB physical hardware or the space, it is saved against your email ID in Google storage server or cloud server, right? We have seen the Google storage or Google servers before, right? In certain video, right? So through the concept of virtualization, it is possible to experience store more than 5 GB or let's say 15 GB space to be used, right? And that is exactly the concept of storage virtualization, right? So hope you have understood what is the concept of storage virtualization. Other than that, there are so many other types of virtualizations like hardware virtualization, network virtualization, application virtualization, and so on and so forth. What is hardware virtualization? Instead of storage, you think the hardware. Let's say desktop virtualization, multiple operating system. You know that ideally, if you are using any Mac notebook, okay, or MacBook Air, okay, you have only iOS or Mac Sierra operating system is installed, right? iOS operating system is installed, right? But you also know that through the other software, based on that you can install multiple operating systems, even Windows also, right? You know that. So that is nothing but multiple operating system you are using the technique of the virtualization, right? So that is the concept of hardware virtualization. You are not having this multiple operating system, you are not having the multiple desktop, but you are utilizing as a desktop or the multiple operating system. Similarly, there are application virtualizations, network virtualizations, and all. Related to the network virtualization, we will be seeing a video in the upcoming, after this particular slide, we'll be observing one video related to the Vodafone network. Now, what do you think? There are a lot of telecom companies are operating across the globe, right? Think that how they are operating, you know that there will be a BTS or the tower, and from that tower another tower is connected, and from that endpoint we are connected, right? So that is the way. The moment, that means the moment you are dialing one number, it is getting connected to the nearest BTS or the tower, and then if the receiver is sending in other side of the globe and all, so through the hopping or through the hopping of the network to different BTS, right? That receiver is receiving particular the communication, right? This is the concept of the network. But one particular BTS is very costly to implement. It may be 100 crore, 200 crore is installation cost, or the implementation cost is involved for the telecom companies. Okay, and that must be, as that is the hardware, okay, stack of hardwares or the storage or the servers, switches, it must have some limitation, right? So in that case, these network companies use the concept of virtualization, and they increase the capacity of the serving to the people or the customers. It means what? Let's take an example. You are in Bangalore, okay, or you are in India in specific place, and you are connected to one particular BTS or the tower, and that tower has the capacity to serve any point of time 1 lakh customers simultaneous calls. Example. Now, through the utilization of this virtualization concept, okay, what will happen? Instead of 1 lakh customers simultaneous serving, they may be possible that tower will help simultaneously 2 lakhs customers to allow to talk simultaneously. So that is nothing but the virtualization. In that sense, what happens? Telecom companies are saving huge amount of money, instead of putting another resource, another BTS, another tower in particular location, and all this cost they are saving with the with implementing virtualization, paying certain small amount of money against that virtualization concept or the facility, right, to the IT companies. So this is nothing but the network virtualization, and in the next upcoming slides, we'll try to understand and see the exact one video. Okay, that is for the sake of example only, so that you can understand that how network works and all of a telecom company. You will understand in that sense. And it comes, the disclaimer is, it may be possible that video was made for the different purpose. That's okay. We are using or utilizing that video for our understanding of virtualization purpose. Hope that is okay with you. Now, other than network virtualization, there application virtualization. What is the application virtualization? Nowadays, you do not need to use the ERP software, okay, You do not need to use ERP software from your laptop or desktop only. You know everything is hosted on cloud. Everywhere you go, you take any laptop, any physical desktop, and you are logging in, right? So the moment you are logging in through your user ID password, all the applications are automatically installed. I'll not say installed, virtually it will show that it is installed in front of you and you start using. That is nothing but the concept of application virtualization. Hope you have understood. Now let's see what are the other concepts are there related to the virtualization, like application areas of the virtualization. Now I have told you few areas like hardware virtualization, network virtualization, storage virtualization, application virtualization, and so on and so forth. Then will be the server consolidation. Virtual machines are used to consolidate many physical servers into fewer servers, which it in turn host virtual machines. It means what? When we talk about the virtual machines, I gave you the examples of multiple operating system. So we need to install a virtual machine. Oracle, okay? A lot of this kind of companies, they are having virtualization concept, the virtual machines, which you need to install, right? So that we can do the server consolidation. So that means instead of multiple servers, okay, we have consolidated those all the servers, applications and servers, or utilization of the servers to the fewer servers. That means I am saving huge cost instead of implementing multiple servers, right? So that is the concept of server consolidation. Then we'll talk about this portable workspace. Now portable workspace, as I said, that nowadays you can log in from anywhere. Now what happens, if you see some education softwares, okay, education softwares and all, you can carry these portable applications, okay, into your I will say portable devices like pen drive, mainly pen drive or the storage drives, right? Small storage drives anywhere, and you can plug in. You can use that USB port of any machine, and you can start using that particular software in that particular machine. Mainly in the banking system, right? You can, if it is a very secret document and all, and you need to run the particular application, you can carry that application in a pen drive. You can use any laptop, any computer across the globe. You can utilize, you can plug in that uh, pen drive, and in that pen drive already the software is there, and you can start using from there. So without installing that particular software from the USB memory stick to the physical hard disk of the laptop and desktop, without doing that, you can use. So that we talk about, we call portable workspaces. Now this is the recent technologies which have used in virtualization to create portable workspaces on devices like iPods and USB memory sticks. Then portable applications. Okay, so similarly the portable workspace, if you are using the applications, okay, which is running or which is installed or which is there in the memory sticks, and you are plugging in that memory stick to any computer or the computer or the desktop, and you start applications, using applications, running an applications from any removable drive. Removable drive means it may be the hard disk, portable hard disk, memory stick, pen drive, and so on and so forth, without installing that particular application in the main laptop or the computer where you are using that particular application, right? That is nothing but the portable applications, and this concept is coming from the virtualization. So here virtualization can be used to encapsulate the application with a redirection layer that stores temporary files, Windows registry entries, okay, or other operating systems registry entries, and other state information in the application's installation directly and not within the system's permanent file system. Have you ever used antivirus application like this? You do not need to install, but only there will be an option of scan my computer, right, without installing, or install my computer, install the software into my computer, right? So if you scan without installing using that memory stick which is plugged into your computer or the laptop, then that concept is also called the virtualization concept. And this is, as it is portable, we talk about the portable application, because using the antivirus, that is also application. And in that case, we also can use for the disaster recovery. Now virtual machines, as I said, that it is the machines which are which are we are experiencing that it is there, but ideally it is not there. It is a virtual concept, right? So virtual machines can be used as the hot standby environments for physical production servers, right? Lot of production servers are running in IT companies, right? So production servers, they work on real life, real environment, right? So anything goes wrong in the production server, then what will happen with the data? So what happens is, as a standby, there is always a virtualized, I will say, the servers. So in case of production server is going down, immediately that virtual server will take over, or any data is lost, it will be saved automatically out there, so that you do not face any problem. So this is the application of the virtualization in case of disaster recovery. Hope you have understood. And in the next section, we will try. Next, we will see that how this network virtualization works in a telecom company. Before I move on, so there is another is this testing and training. So virtualization can give root access to the virtual machines. Okay, this can be very useful, such as kernel development and the operating system courses. Now what happens the moment you are the experienced engineer, or you are trying to understand the concept, let's say you are from the training part of the concept and all, and you are working with the operating system. Now in any operating system, there are two main area. One is shell and another is called kernel. So kernel is the core, then top of that the shell programming, and then the entire operating system works on that. So kernel is basically the root of the operating system, and through this virtualization you can have the access of the root of that. Because if in physical server is the production server or main operating system kernel, if you try to make any changes and doing the testing, then what will happen, if you make any mistake, then it will be very difficult to rectify. So what will happen, instead of that, there will be a virtualized environment wherein you will see that you are as if that you are accessing the kernel of the operating system, and you can do the coding, you can change the coding, you can write the coding, and you can run the program, you can see that what it is working or not, and then you can have the practical experience on that, so that you can become a good engineer or the expert when you will be working on the production or proper kernel. You do not make any mistake. So this is also very important application of virtualization in terms of testing, training, and so on and so forth. Fine. Now we will see the network virtualization concept, or one video wherein we'll be taking one example from telecom company and how they are helping customers using this technology.